Hello and welcome to Happy Foot, Sad Foot, your LAFC gateway drug and the only LAFC podcast full of utter woke nonsense. I'm Travis Helwig.
I'm Darren Miller.
And I'm Vince LaRosa.
Wow, what a game. Outcome none of us could have foreseen in a best of three round we all love. Huh?
Can you believe we beat Vancouver? Wow.
Vince, anything to add? That's our post game.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, look, they did enough. It's exactly what, of all games, it's like exactly how you drew it up. Like, you go into the game, don't try to make a lot of mistakes against Vancouver, get out in transition as much as you can, clean up some things from the first half, and they were much better in the second half. Like, I think we saw everything that made Vancouver dangerous, and I think LAFC understood that. Obviously, they give the goal at the very end, but that second half, they really were much better. And I think the halftime talk probably was like, look, guys, don't give up set pieces. Don't turn over the ball in midfield, and we'll be just fine. And they were.
Yeah, I think my takeaway from the match is that best of three removes a lot of energy from a playoff round. Like, it did not feel that stressful. Like, last week felt more stressful as a fan than tonight did, because you have two other chances. We know we're a better team. It just was not. It was a very fun game. I think we played great. It was as clinical, I think, as you could have a victory. We got to see Vanni Sartini up close in person in a beautiful vest, but it was not.
Loves that crypto bro.
Yeah, I said he works at Salesforce. It's just like the vibe and the energy, like the intensity and the nervousness was not there that you would want to feel. Like, you watch the Dodgers play in the playoffs and those are best of the game, but you feel that nervousness. We've played Vancouver 400 times. It's a best of three. I just didn't feel nervous at maybe because we played so well, but it didn't feel like a playoff game to me. And maybe that's me. I'm not trying to bring people down. It's great that we won, but it just, the best of three, I think has to go away. Switch to two or make it winner take all. It's just not working from a fan perspective.
Yeah, it didn't inject anything into it. Like, even LAFC goes up 1-0 and Vancouver still is like, okay, we have enough time. Like, they didn't rush into anything. They didn't really pour numbers forward. And
that goal they scored at the end means nothing, right? Like, it doesn't even add to goal differential. It's a wasted fucking goal.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It just made it a little bit nervous for the extra minute of the game.
I forgot till just now that goal existed.
Yeah. That's fair.
I think we all immediately forgot that it existed. Nobody was bummed. Everyone was like, there's so little time left. I'm not worried at all. That was probably the least upset I've ever experienced a crowd after opposing team's goal.
We're still chanting for Carlos Vela. Yeah. Okay, so obvious happy foot. Carlos Vela
absolutely
returns, gets the captain's armband from Aaron Long, which I think is a very cool moment to see. Also because Aaron Long doesn't deserve it. And
ouch, harsh.
But it just was such a, I don't know, everyone just, at least in our section, was watching the warm-ups the whole time, and he wasn't in the initial group of warm-ups, and everyone was like, what the fuck, why isn't he warming up? And then he came over later and was warming up on his own, and people started cheering, and then right around that time people started chanting his name, and it was just that was like what I will remember from this match, is him coming out and him looking fit. I've never seen him run that fast. Maybe it's all the time off, all the massages he got, but he was fast comparatively to last season.
Yeah, he was looking good. I'm excited. I mean, hopefully we can get to a point in many more matches where it just makes sense to put him in. And it is a burst of energy, at least for the stadium. I'm sure for the club too. There was a little bit of like, you could tell guys were so excited that he was in there. They were kind of like trying a little too hard to get him the ball, which is maybe a problem in some cases. Not in theoretically, he's only going to go in a situation where the game's kind of in an okay shape. So it's like that same period of time, they were starting to get cute. They were starting to get a little bit comfortable, and not to the point where I was worried, but yeah, that stuff's going to happen. And I don't know, hopefully it can stay, like they can not go too far in that direction, but
Yeah, you want to
Darren-
get him. You want to get him touches. Like literally,
Yeah.
I was as excited as everyone in that stadium to see him. It was very cool to hear the chants. But when he came on, had absolutely no idea what would happen. And to Travis's point, like I was actually very happy in that moment where the ball turns over and he was like, "Look, I have to get back," and he sprinted back. And you're right, I have not seen him run that fast in a while. So very happy to see that he did that, and then didn't immediately need like a mask to get the air back into his lungs. He was good.
If it felt I don't know, it was weird. It like didn't feel like this season to see him, but it felt special, and it just reminds you how much he fucking means to this club. And like, I don't know, man, he's just like, the club feels different when he's playing. It just if there's something, it feels like LAFC. And while it doesn't necessarily feel like this season of LAFC, it just feels, I don't know, it's our only player we have like that, right? Like we have people we could consider partially like that, and they've all had to go away for other reasons. Carlos, I think, should be welcome here as long as he needs to be. Darren, you had a happy and sad foot that it was the same for your happy and your
That's
sad
true.
foot.
That's a good place to start. I had the crossbar listed as a happy foot and a sad foot. Many others may as well. The left post also, though, was a happy foot. So we end up net positive there.
Okay.
I don't know. In a game that felt like it was kind of decided from the beginning and everything was fine the whole way. There were a few chances that could have gone a different way, and it would have been a very different match.
Leading up to this game, did you have a favorite post, Darren?
I would say the right
three?
post would have been my favorite post leading up to this game. And the right post, I have
and-
to say, complete non-factor in this game.
I like the post office. I think what they do is really great. And like
Sure.
they don't get enough credit. Like it's really hard to get every house mail every day.
I just want to
Right.
apologize. We've said before we're going to try to keep politics out of this, but
I think we need to
Travis
make sure
keeps bringing it
okay.
back into things. I
Well,
don't
they're
know what
trying
do
to
about
get
it.
rid of Saturday service. This is an outrage. We like Saturday is a day we get mail. Okay, we need to fund the post office.
But how will I get all those coupons that I never use?
I saw a tweet that was like, the mail is crazy because 99 pieces of mail are garbage, and one, if you don't see, you go to jail.
That's kind of fair.
Which is kind of like when the ball hits the post.
Okay, great. We're back.
And we're back.
Vince, any happy feet or sad feet before we get to callers?
Happy Foot was, as I said, they played the game that you would expect them to play. Like they were smart about their possession. Obviously, there was a few nervy moments very early on, but they really, really cleaned it up in the second half. I was actually a little surprised that Vancouver was so passive in the wide areas and was allowing them to just basically move the ball into their half wide. But I think they were trying to trap LAFC, and Sergi Palencia and Christian Oliveira were very good on the right side and getting in and out of sticky moments. I thought O'Brien was very good, although he had his one like bad giveaway, as he always does. Tillman had his one or two bad giveaways, as he always
Tillman
does.
was a little shaky to start the night. By the end, I didn't notice him as much, but I was really upset with him at the beginning of the game. It just felt like he was making a lot of dumb mistakes. He faked an injury and then held back, and Bogusz had to sprint back, and they almost got a goal out of it. It was like Tillman was so good to start the season, and I feel like he's been hit or miss to end the season. I still love him, but this was a game where I noticed myself being angry with him. So that would maybe be my sad foot. I think you brought up one of my happy feet, which is Kike Oliveira's goal. It feels right to see him out there. He's so fast. He brings so much to it. And that goal was just, I mean, the build up to that goal was beautiful. And then the goal itself was like, it was, I don't know. He is important to this team. I don't know how many more games we have with him on our team. And so I would just say, let's cherish what that guy brings to the club while he's here. Same with Matty Bogusz.
Yeah, some great passes leading up to that goal. Very like patient, but still quick and crisp moves.
Sad foot is that we have to keep doing this, like in the 3-game series. Like I don't think anything is going to change. Vancouver does not have the quality to. Vancouver has to pour numbers forward, but they don't want to. And when they do pour numbers forward, LAFC will just kill them. And basically, they're just going to have to try to figure out a way to either make LAFC have a bad day, or hope that LAFC comes in and makes a few more of those passes that Tillman did, or a couple of guys made mistakes. And so that's going to, honestly, if this series has to go 3 games, oh, shoot me. It's gonna be pretty boring. And it's like we thoroughly handled them. We were first in the conference. We deserve to have the home game. Like we should just get to move on.
I agree with you. It just didn't, even in the tailgate, like the energy of fear that was there last week in a game that kind of didn't matter. Like we got really lucky last week, right? We did everything we needed to do. The Galaxy fucked up, but it felt so important. This game, it was like, well, even if we lose, we'll be upset, but we know the team is good enough that they'll fucking close it. It just like, it's such a shitty way to have a playoff. I don't know. I'm not, I know that it is our good friends at Apple and Swiffer want to make a little bit more money. And again, thanks to the great people at Swiffer WetJet, WETJET.com. I also, another happy
and Celsius. Celsius got a lot of play on the
Celsius.
broadcast.
Thank you, Celsius. Thank you so much, Celsius.
I did drink a Celsius lemon lime before the game, and it has worn off by now, if you can't tell. And I also want to shout out my real estate agent was at the game, and I ran into her. So shout out to Caroline Wolf, the official real estate agent of Happy Foot, Sad Foot.
Wow.
If you want a house, howl to the wolf.
There we go. I was like, where's he gonna go? You pulled it out. Let's go to callers because where did this go?
The wet is jet.
The wet was so jet tonight, and ultimately that's a mixed bag. We don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's very complex.
LAX Andy, you've been waiting for a bit. Are you here or are you just listening?
I'm here, guys.
Welcome to the show.
Now, LAX Andy, just want to get a verbal confirmation you're not driving.
I'm not driving. I just pulled up in my house. There's a scary a lady in a black coat. She might be a ghost, so I'm gonna hang tight here for a second before I go in.
Is it Travis's real estate agent?
It might be.
Give her a howl and see what happens.
Oh, let me look.
He just gets shot in the head immediately.
Oh, no.
Nobody's getting shot in Whittier, guys.
LAX Andy, I heard a little rumor you were drove to LAX tonight.
At Long Beach. I'm literally on my way back from Long Beach Airport, where I've
best airport. The best airport.
Vince, I agree. Look,
yes.
People come who don't know the lore. They think they don't know how I got my nickname. They think I work at LAX or something. Long Beach Airport is the best airport in the world. I've literally been there the past 3 days. Flew out of there on Friday. Flew out of there on Friday. Flew back yesterday in time for game 2, and then picked up my in-laws today from Long Beach. Wonderful little airport.
The only thing less stressful than this game is being at Long Beach Airport, and I think Andy can agree with me. That's why it's beautiful.
100%.
We did. I guess to catch people up, we did offhandedly, as a fun little bit, call you LAX Andy.
I think our first call-in
show because you happen to be driving to or from there, and it turns out you are constantly at airports. Like you have fulfilled that nickname so much further than ever possible. I cannot believe it.
I mean, huge shout out to my wife who has to travel up to the Bay Area pretty much every other week. So I got to be there for her.
Okay, while we have you, I know we're here to chat airports, but any happy feet or sad feet from the match?
Yeah, my biggest two big happy feet. Sorry. The first thing, so obviously I was listening on the radio, and look, LA, we're super privileged. We had Vince Scully, we had Miller with the Kings. I can't believe I'm blanking on the Lakers. Legendary. Thank you so much. And like, I'm just wondering, when's Dave going to get his flowers? I mean, listening to that game, him just losing his mind at the handball was just incredible, and losing his mind with all the goals. Again, I'm really lucky I got to be at the game, so I don't get to hear him as much. But my God, just what he's able to do. I feel like I'm constantly, I prefer to watch games in Spanish because the English announcers suck. He's a soccer announcer. Hey, Max is great too. But
Dave is literally like 5 feet from us at the moment in the room next to us. We're just trying to see if we get his attention. But yeah,
you want to howl at him?
Yeah. Thank you again to our real estate of the pod, Caroline Wolf. Well, if you need a home, give her a howl.
Oh man.
So sorry to interrupt my terrible bit. I don't think I'm close enough to my real estate agent to make these jokes.
Right?
Thank you, William Lamb, for getting us out of this. He says big weekend wins in LA sports, especially LAFC.
Especially
That's right.
LAFC.
It starts with LAFC.
Thank you so much, William. I mean, Magic Johnson is 3-0 at games he attends this weekend.
Big game,
doing-
Magic Johnson.
Alex, Andy, you were at the Dodger game. Give us a. You were at the Grand Slam game, correct?
No, I was not at any of the games. In fact, I missed the Grand Slam because I was at my college reunion, and literally was just I wore my Dodgers jersey at my reunion, and I had more people come up to me to say "Go Dodgers" than that recognized me from 15 years ago.
Whoa. Was your college reunion in LA?
No, it wasn't. That's why I had to fly up to the Bay Area.
Got it.
Any other happy feet or sad feet, Alex, Andy, before we let you go?
Or other airports you'd like to discuss?
No, my other big happy foot is just, we were talking about the format, which is some utter woke nonsense, I know, but the great thing that comes out of it is the fact that the Galaxy won 5-0 yesterday.
And it means nothing.
And we had our sphincters tight here in the last seconds, and it's like, guess what? We're both 1-0. So that's a wonderful feeling coming out of that. Anyway, that's all I got. Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much, Alex, Andy. Great to talk to you, and see you at the airport. See you at the rock and roll bar at the LAX airport. I do want to say David Day is in the comments defending the best of three segment as if he created it. It is. I do think there's a world in which David Day told MLS to do this and is just like, he's like, if I don't keep this going, I lose my job. And if that's true, David Day, we're on your side, man. You gotta, I love it if that's true.
That's true.
It would be interesting to be like
David Day having a job, but I think it's pretty clear at this point, anti 3-game series.
I would say David Day has a job on this podcast, which is reminding everyone to thumbs up.
That's true.
Because we never remind people to do it. So go ahead and give us a thumbs up and subscribe.
We're going to do it to give him the space that he needs to defend the 3-game series.
It really would be interesting to be like, hi, I'm so-and-so, creator of the 3-game series in MLS. And people are like, what? He's like, it's on my Wikipedia. That's what I'm known for.
Hi, I'm the guy who told Netflix to change their name to Flickster.
I was like, you got to keep the DVDs, man.
Boy. Okay, we got more callers. Let's go to more callers.
It is called Best of Three.
LAFC Luke, you were also at the match. We had the pleasure of seeing you before the match. Here we are after the match. What do you think?
Hey, so firstly, I just got to call out LAX Andy's version of tight table, tight sphincter.
That's true. Tight sphincter.
Tight sphincter.
When it's a tight table, that's what happens. One definitely implies the other.
That's what happens. Look, my what I would love to see with the playoffs is that the 1, 2, 7, 8 seeds are a 4-team group, and the 3, 4, 5 3, 4, 5, 6 are a 4-team group, and the top 2 emerge. They all play each other, so it's 3 games. The higher seeds get 2 of those 3, and then the top 2 of each emerge out to play, one-offs. That'd be my jam, because then you actually
do you have a whiteboard in the car that you could pull out?
Oh yeah, I got that. I've got a board at home with red string and pins and everything.
I would love a diagram.
we could do this. We could do this. All right. So look, my happy foot. So my husband was talking about Matty Bogusz. He was the guy who had the shot that led to the handball, and he also had that beautiful assist for Kike. Fully agree with that. I wanted to actually shout out Aaron Long because
$1 million man.
He looked good. Like he had Ryan Gauld in his back pocket. So like, Ryan, I gotta give my props.
Plus, he has new blonde hair, and we love blondes.
What's not to love about that?
He went full. Yeah, he's been kind of transitioning to blonde for a while, like gradually.
He went like Eminem. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, next to Tillman, it's definitely looking good.
Any sad feet, Luke?
Well, look, letting that goal in at the very end kind of just made everything feel a little like, it wasn't quite as
like lame, right?
Fun. And like, there was a minute there where people started whistling to get the ref to like blow the game dead, because it was like, they could still tie this. We don't think they will, but this isn't done yet. So that would
That
be
would
my
have been absolutely insane. There was a moment there right after the goal where it was like, if a fluke happens and they score, we're suddenly in PKs. Like, this is weird.
It would have been a reversal of fortune from our Leagues Cup game with them earlier this year. So, like,
Interesting.
happy to not have that happen.
Oh, also, you just did the super pod with Scarf and Eric from Voice of Black and Gold. What feed is that on if people want to go watch that?
Yeah, that's on the Defenders of the Bank feed. So go check that out. My score prediction for this game was 3-1. Scarf predicted 4-2 and Eric predicted 4-0. So I came the closest, I guess, but I'm not like bragging.
So you won the pod.
You won the pod.
You won the pod.
You were the smartest podcast.
What did I get? Tell me what I got.
A sponsorship from Swiffer.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, Luke, thanks so much for calling in.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Tim Morgan with the super chat. Tim, thank you so much. $9.99. Can't wait to send those Carson bitches home in the semifinal. Let's fucking go. Yeah, I mean, me too. I'm terrified of them still, but yes, me too. I mean, like, it is watching them play last night. What my takeaway was that Colorado is really bad. I think the Galaxy looked good, but Colorado just did not show up for that game. And they looked like they had their spirit broken after 2 goals. No
Jordy Mihaljevic, arguably their best player. They're pretty weak. Like, they have an okay-ish front four, but without Jordy, they're not very athletic. And the Galaxy were like, "Oh, this is going to be easy." Their midfield is not great, and then defense is not great. So yeah, the Galaxy had a field day. The only thing they can hope for is that the Galaxy are worn out by the altitude, and they can get Jordy back and get some set pieces going.
I mean, I'd love to see a game in that series with them at full strength and at least like see what happens. Sure. It'd be nice to have our series done in 2 and theirs done in 3 at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
We have another caller. He doesn't have his camera on, so I'm curious if he wants to come on. Heel of the Foot, although someone tweeted Hill of the Foot. Heel of the Foot, Jeff Talk. Do you want to be on the show or are you just listening?
Yeah, just my camera's not on because I'm definitely not driving.
Okay, thank you so much for the verbal confirmation that you're not driving. Jeff Talk, we got to hang out before the show and make amends. And do you want to apologize to me now the way that you did in person for how you speak to me?
Boy, that's a great setup. You were working on that all game, huh, Travis?
No, I honestly came up with it right now, but thank you for thinking that.
Well, hey, it's very well written. It's a wonder you are still doing improv. Anyways, so I'd like to talk about the most important thing that happened tonight, which is that you shouted out a real estate agent. And I'd like to just say that I think it's the official policy of the Happy Foot, Sad Foot podcast that real estate agents are in fact parasites and are genuine criminals. Like, there is nothing that a real estate agent does that adds anything to any transaction. They are rent seekers in any possible form. There is no job I respect less than real estate agent, just to be clear.
Wow,
Jeff. Any happy fit or sad fit from the game?
Counterpoint, Jeff. She's really nice, and she's fine. She found us a house.
Yeah, beautiful home that they love.
My happy foot is that the Supreme Court actually just ruled that there was, I think, a record in the tens of billions of dollars against the National Association of Realtors. As
Jeff,
an illegal
talk about the
cartel
fucking game,
monopoly.
you piece of shit.
Well, does anyone gonna remember anything about this game ever? You might remember that Carlos Vela. We clapped for that guy. No one's gonna remember anything that ever happened. This is the most boring playoff game I've ever seen in my life.
What, Jeff? Why did you come on the show tonight?
I'm really fucking mad about that real estate shit. I'll be honest with you. I was not gonna call in, and I heard Travis shout out a real estate.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for calling in, and thanks again to my real estate agent, Caroline Wolf. If you need a home, don't forget to give Caroline Wolf a howl. Oh, Denise is here. Denise just had a baby. Congratulations. She's in the chat. Everyone say congratulations, Denise. We took a photo with her at the meetup a few weeks ago. She had a baby this week. So Denise, the first baby of the foot.
I don't think so, actually. There's been a few.
Oh, yeah. Someone gave birth while listening to the podcast, right?
No, to watching a game.
Watching the game. But what's more important, the game or the podcast? We have
a few friends of the foot with baby. There's been a few baby pics in the Discord and the Patreon. It's been amazing.
Denise, congratulations. Darren said that you named the middle name of your child Ilya, and then I saw what you had written to him, and I said, I think she's joking. So please confirm.
We don't know. Is it a joke or is it real?
Is your child's middle name Ilya?
We don't know.
Babyfoot. We got another caller, and his name you all know, and he's here, but I don't know if it's one of his knights. It is true. His name is really Ilya. Hell yeah!
Very cool.
Absolutely incredible.
Ilya.
We won't dox. Not days old. We won't dox the rest of his name.
We'll put an emoji over his face when we post it. River Ilya. Can we say that? Can we say your baby's full name? Is that fine? What? Is there a law against that?
No.
It's a beautiful name. Look it up.
River's a great name too. All right, let's bring him on. Two Nips Dan, welcome to the show. That we're gonna pivot from a baby being born to Two Nips Dan. Two Nips Dan, your nipples are in tonight.
Yeah, we didn't hit the threshold.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about it, and it used to be 2 goals in a cup game. But does this qualify? Because to me, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't qualify. No. You're certainly welcome on the show, as always.
Yeah, we got to keep the specialness.
Well,
I would say maybe if it's a one-off, right? Like if it's a playoff game, I would maybe say that threshold hits.
Yep, that's true. It's like, what did we win tonight? Did we win a ticket to the next round? No, we won the ability to lose our next game. Like if we had lost, we couldn't lose. We won.
Still need to be celebrated.
Now we can.
Yeah, it's like a freebie.
That is true. Like it really, we could just say, let's just play the second game here. We don't need to go to let's just forfeit that one. We'll do another one here.
Okay, let me actually pose a question for the group, including Dan, of course. What do you guys think of the idea of keeping the Stars in LA and just fielding a second team in Vancouver?
No, I don't want to play a third game.
Yeah, get it over with.
Well,
much variables.
So how many times have we played them actually in the last 2 years? Like 10 times? Why don't we roll it? We roll a D10. We roll a D10, and then whatever game that represents, that's the result. Yeah.
I love that idea. The more we can put dice into sports, I would like. Do you guys watch Roll for Sandwich on TikTok? I love that guy.
Listen, if we start talking about sandwiches, you're going to lose me too, and that's going to be a problem.
Yep.
Okay. I had a really good sandwich today.
Oh, no.
What is it? What is it?
Travis, you have to stop him. I'm not going to.
Tell us about the sandwich.
It was a torta de jamon.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
Okay, I want details.
Do it offline. Okay.
Tell us in the chat. What other happy fitters have you got?
Penny. Wait, first I want to say this to the chat. Don't spell this out in the chat. Please don't. But Penny Buwanga, who hits the pens for us. That's
that's great.
That's good.
Penny Buwanga. I mean, that's how he scores mostly at this point.
Penny Buwanga.
That seems like an insult. I didn't mean it as an insult. How did I say it with that tone?
He was really good in the game.
It came out that way, and I was like, I'm going to let that sit.
Go down to the press conference right now and say that to his face.
Buwanga is like a literal.
We were talking upstairs. We were talking about maybe Penny Buwanga because that's all you do, right?
Also, I think you wear a lot of cologne, but I've never been in the same room with you.
Can I tell you? I asked. There was one time where like he hadn't scored in let's say 5 or 6 games. I think it was the longest he hadn't scored, and he was right in front of me, and I was like, "Do you what happens when you don't score?" And he kind of looked at me like, "What?" I was like, "Do you get mad?" And I kind of went off the rest of the question, and then his translator started translating, and he just kind of stopped her, and he looked at me, and he just kind of smiled. He's like, "Yes, I get mad." I was like, "That's great. That's awesome. That's the best."
Two Nips, Dan, thank you so much for calling in. We always love to see you. I hope we get to see those nips soon.
See you again soon.
My real estate agent just texted, how do I listen to the podcast? So there's a world in which she's going to come and listen.
Well, speaking of listening to the podcast, I love that Marcos Ramirez. This is one of the best super chats we've ever gotten. Can you all shout out my girlfriend, Aubrey, because she hates that I listen to you all on the way back to the Valley over playing music. LOL.
Oh, my God.
Aubrey, I just want to say to you, there's
You're not wrong, Aubrey, but also
there's no musician in the world, Aubrey, that could bring you as much joy as three white guys talking about a game you just watched. And I just want you to remember that. What we're doing right now is important, and it's important that you hear it on the way to the Valley.
Oh, no, you revealed how thin the premise of the show is. People will know now.
Honestly, Aubrey's right. Listen to
Darren,
music. What are you doing?
But did you hear that he said 3 white guys? 3. Think about it.
Yeah, some of that music is just one person, 3 people.
Yeah.
Shout out to Marcos though. He's
Thank you for the super chat, Marcos and Aubrey. We're deeply sorry.
Just genuine empathy and remorse coming from us to Aubrey. Well, what else haven't we covered? I want to say we shouted out Oliveira on the beginning of this match, but
wait, hold on. Rebecca points out that was our first dedication. If you want us to do a dedication on the air, like this is Love Songs at Night. Happy. Yes. If you want us to tell a girl that you have a crush on them, I would love to do.
You want to shout out? We will do a shout
Actually,
out.
Travis would love nothing more than do a whole podcast of that if we could.
I'm upset.
Next caller.
Honestly, the main reason I wanted to do this podcast was to have a call-in radio show. Delilah. Didn't he say that? What else did we miss from the game? Lewis O'Brien had a great game.
He did. He got man of the match. I was gonna say Oliveira.
That seemed fair.
We were excited about the goal, but also like that was a true pure finish. The thing that we used to rag on him for is a thing that we can now count on him for, and I love seeing that. It was a great finish.
I'm really digging the whole like Palencia Oliveira. I don't think we can call it an experiment because like it's legit happening, but just like the use of 2 guys that have a high work rate, are both pretty quick and both good on the ball in terms of progressing the ball forward, and then Oliveira obviously has that willingness and ability to go forward and to score goals. Like it's very interesting. And then on the flip side, you have Hollingshead and Bouanga who are kind of figuring out more and more when one should be wider, one should be more interior to kind of help out defensively and help out the midfield. It's pretty cool. Like I will admit I did not like the 3-4-3 for a while because I prefer teams that play in a 4-3-3. They just seem more dynamic. You have a little bit more control of the ball, but LAFC is doing some fun things out of this formation. And it does make them different than they were last year when they were so beholden similarly on transition, but I think they can do some different things. Like that second goal they scored, I don't think we could have imagined them scoring in the playoffs last year with the way that they were playing. Like they could only get the ball forward, go fast. Today was, today's goal, that second goal was a moment of like really good control and using Giroud. I know he's not scoring, but like they used him really well in that moment. Sucked in the defense.
Giroud has been a part of a lot of build up to goals. I know we give Giroud a lot. I mean, and it's worth a discussion of why we can't find him and why we found him a couple times today, but all in position, like too low and weird. Like the timing was slightly off yet. Like we just can't find the height that he's at. And like you watch Kai Kamara come in and he immediately knows he fits in with the team. And I'm like, maybe the Giroud thing is going to take an off season to figure out, right? Like it just isn't there yet, but he still has contributed in important ways to the offense. And I think we have to remember that he's not Mario Gonzalez, as people have tried to call him. I mean, I would say he's contributed more than Gareth Bale before the obvious Gareth Bale contribution, right?
Gareth scored some sick goals.
Gareth did score.
Even with half a back.
He has scored in cup games. He has scored. He just hasn't scored in MLS games.
Yeah. No, Giroud will be there. I agree with you. It is different to play with him because he is such a presence and plays in such a way. And he's in the very middle of the field, right? Like to get him the ball, it's not easy. To get him the ball is to risk losing it in a pivotal area of the field. So it's going to take some time, but it is nice to see him still playing well.
Why does he hang out offsides all the time? He's just like waiting offsides the whole time.
Yeah, what's that about?
It's a striker thing, and it's just to like put some doubt into the minds of the center backs. Like someone could mess up and keep me on. And then also, I also think it's also an older striker thing where it's like, I don't really feel like running back right now, guys. Yeah. Like, I'll take my time. And when you guys bring the ball up here, you're not playing it to me early anyways. So by the time it gets up here, we'll be on side and everyone will be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed it does seem to throw off the timing sometimes though, where like he's a little bit offside and then a midfielder gets the ball back and they look up and he's offside, so they're like, "Oh, I guess I won't go back to you."
I would say that
happened a bunch of times.
he probably picked that up in a team that was a little more possession heavy. And to your point,
Yeah.
Darren, like we want to get the ball and go forward real quick. And he's like, oh, sorry about that. And he's got to like jump back on real quick. It's not the best strategy, I would say.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think another happy foot I want to say before we close out the evening is Chiellini. I don't know in what context he said this, but he said that the best Polish player right now, in his opinion, is Mateusz Bogusz. And he's like, he would be good enough to play at the top teams in Serie A. I agree with him. And I think it's just rad to have somebody over in Italy that is like representing our team and our players so hard. And he's not wrong. Like Mateusz Bogusz is better than this league. This is his last few games with this team, without a doubt. I would bet my house that I bought with Caroline Wolf. If you need to buy a house, check out Caroline Wolf and give her a howl.
Good call.
Travis, I'm going to go ahead and say I disagree completely, actually. Not about Caroline Wolf, of course.
Oh, okay.
No,
I thought it was about the
real estate agent of Happy
Yeah.
Foods.
I think that Giorgio Chiellini needs to keep his fucking mouth shut, is what I think. Very nice thing for him to say. He knows nothing but how to say nice things. But I think he should maybe stay a little quieter about it. And not as many people, plenty of people know how good Bogusz is. Maybe it's a good amount of people.
Darren, look,
you don't need to contribute to more people.
Nope, he's going one way or another, and Giorgio's just out there making sure the price keeps going up. He's like, look, if he's already going, let's just keep making the. Because let's be honest, he's not the best. He's not the best Polish player because there's a guy named Robert Lewandowski that scored 2 goals against Real Madrid this past weekend.
What has he won? What has he won?
Champions League titles. Just the big
but
ones.
has he ever won the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup?
You know what? He has not.
And he probably will next year at Miami.
You know what? I'll keep my mouth shut from now on because until
Neymar
he does,
might go to Miami.
I mean, to hang out or to play.
The fact that Suarez is as good as he's been means that Neymar is going to play the best season of his fucking life when he goes to Miami. We do need Griezmann to even compete next year, I think. And what's his name? De Bruyne might go to
San Diego.
San Diego as well. Is San Diego in the league next year? Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a great
their
logo.
Their first game will be against the Galaxy. Their first game ever.
You know what? They can have that rivalry. I'm so sick of the Galaxy. They're so annoying.
Take them. So do we get the Quakes then?
Sure.
Yeah, I would love that.
Whatever,
Our
man.
rivals are Vancouver because we beat them every time we play them.
I'm looking at my notes here. We covered the post. We covered the crossbar. I really like that O'Brien got man of the match because it really was like workmanship that he was being rewarded for, especially toward the end of the game. He had some amazing defensive plays.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was maybe the best I've seen him live, at least.
Darren, you have a weird thing on your computer where if the mouse moves to the side of the screen, everything goes away.
Yeah, it's a hot corner. I don't know how.
Why?
I don't know. Yep.
We've reached the part of the show where we talk about desktops.
Hot corner, just like tight table, will stick in my head.
Corner.
It's
a hot
It's a hot corner. That's what I was talking about this week, but Apple ads used to be cool, and now they're just like slutty close-ups of the corners of watches. Like it's just like horny shots of a watch. Yeah. And I'm like, why? We used to like think Apple was cool. What's happened to the tech industry?
I think it's not. I think because the products aren't actually cool anymore, and they got to find every angle.
I also just don't trust any of these companies anymore. They like lost our faith when they told us we'd have self-driving cars like 7 years ago. All right. Anything else we want to talk about before we have to play them 100 more times? The good news is we might only have to play them one more time until next year.
Yeah, that should be the plan. Like, let's get it over with. We don't want to have to come home and play them again. But as I said, I think game 2 will be very much more of the same, the way that these two teams played.
I do enjoy seeing us play a particular type of game, and the game just happened to go through luck a certain type of way that really, I think, at least should and seems to get under Vanni Sartini's skin. Like, we always seem to beat them, not just beat them, but beat them in a way that is really frustrating for the opposing coach. And I like that, and I want to see another one of those, especially in Vancouver.
Yeah, it was professional. Like, it really was a professional game, and it really kind of breaks your spirit. And I think for Vanni, he's like, come on, guys, can we be a little bit more like proactive? Can we be a little bit more brave? Like he's always trying to like really pump his team up, and they're just like, bro, are you seeing how good this team is? We can't do anything. Like we just have to hope they make a mistake, which they did, and they still hit the post.
Yeah, it's like there was a maze that they were going to do, and they got time to prepare, and they came in being like, we know exactly how to get to the finish of this maze. And then they entered the maze, and they're like, we don't know what to do with it. It's all dead ends. Everywhere we go, there's just nowhere to go. And then at some point toward the end, it really felt like we were getting cute with it, and we were like, maybe we shouldn't be getting this cute. But then it was like, well, they're not really trying anymore either.
Right.
They just kind of gave up.
Until the very end.
I don't know that they even meant to score that goal. Honestly, like it was just like, oh, I guess I have a shot at this. I'll shoot it.
Also, once again, you reminded Darren that it happened. He totally forgot once
again. It wouldn't be Happy Foot Sad Foot if we didn't discuss Vanni Sartini sucking Steve Cherundolo's dick, allegedly pretending to suck Steve Cherundolo's dick. Vanni Sartini,
you have to say allegedly. At this point, it's on video.
Swiffer Wetjet, our sponsor, wants us to say allegedly.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Swiffer Wetjet, if you're listening, Vanni Sartini allegedly pretended to suck our coach's dick when we kicked him out of the playoffs last year. Got on his knees and did it tonight. I was watching Vanni. We sat pretty close to Vanni Sartini, and I watched him the whole game. He's very fun to watch. He points to where people should pass, and oftentimes they do that, and you could see him be happy. And then he also does something that I've never seen a coach do before, which is that he mimes kicking when the players are supposed to kick the ball. Like he's in a mech controlling the team.
Sure.
Yeah.
It is. He's slowly becoming my favorite figure in Major League Soccer. I love Vanni Sartini.
When they scored, he did turn back toward the crowd and give us one of these.
Yeah, he was like, maybe something was coming, and it wasn't.
Yeah,
I just want to have one conversation with him. We'll get him on the podcast.
Come on the pod, Vanny. Come on.
Oh my god, that actually would be pretty epic. I didn't think he'd have a lot of fun with us, to be honest.
Vince, practice that Italian. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. I think we're good here.
Yeah.
We actually this is an odd thing. We did a preview for the series. We will be back with a post-game show on the next match with Vancouver in Vancouver. We've got a week. If you want to support the show, keep watching, keep listening, share it with a friend. We ran into a lot of you guys at the match, which was so fun.
Another happy feet.
Yes. Thank you so much for all the support that you guys give us and all the love. It was really fun to hang out before with a lot of these people, you people.
I just want to say thank you to our sponsors, Swiffer Wetjet. The jet is wet. The wet is jet.
And the wet was very jet.
I want to apologize to our real estate sponsor, Caroline Wolf. We did let a caller on who said some inappropriate things about a very ethical industry that has done nothing wrong. I think let's all go around and say we support real estate agents. I support real estate agents.
Wild allegations.
Give us a thumbs up and subscribe. End the stream, Darren, for fuck's sake.
I do love you all.